Hello. Has anyone been paying attention to Donald Trump recently? I've never seen a president age as fast as Donald Trump. His second term, I mean, when he was running against Joe Biden initially, he seems to have so much energy. No, the guy can't even talk. I can't even understand him when he's talking. That speech that he gave in North Carolina recently is a sign that this man is not well. And I see the MAGA hole is keep talking, comparing him to Joe Biden. But they keep forgetting that the left put Joe Biden out of office. Joe Biden is no longer the president. The left realized that Joe Biden was old and they removed him. Right? They weren't fighting to keep him in office. People who are broke and suffering are talking about how much better America is while begging you $1 at the 7-Eleven. I seen a dude wearing MAGA hats on the street corner with a sign saying "Homeless, please help." Whether that hat was given to him or not, I saw him in it. And he was not getting my $1. Right? The sooner, the faster America realizes that we have a problem in the White House, the faster we can recover. There are some telltale signs. One of the signs is that, when we look back through this man's history, all we can see is bankruptcy after bankruptcy and bad deal after bad deal. And, company getting fucked over by him. People not getting paid for work done. Racism, all those things that we've seen, and we expected that man was gonna do a good job for America. And the first time we gave him a chance, regardless of his rhetoric and the obvious inability of him to even have a conversation with his opponent, we still allowed him to be president the first time. A man with a low vocabulary resort to name calling, and that's what he did. We still allowed him to be president. And when it was time for him to leave, it seems as if we were gonna have to give him a 30-day notice to get him out the White House, because he wouldn't leave willingly. Right? He threatened his vice president to hang him. He sent his supporters to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power because he got so intoxicated by this power that he came by, and he made some money in the White House the first time, but he started to make that money at that last part of his presidency because he was just starting to figure things out. He burned the house down when he was leaving, and I really thought this guy was done. I thought we would never even hear about him in Republican politics. But what I failed to understand was that there was no more Republican Party. The Republican Party was over. Right? John McCain, Liz Cheney, those were the last Republicans. Mitt Romney. I thought Marco Rubio was one, but he's just a lapdog. He's just a poodle. Right? And we went around and give this guy power once again. It was unfucking believable. Because I didn't think that America would really do something like this. Out of everything America had done in the past, this is right up there with the worst of those things. Right? And this guy came back to power and he just started to wreck the system. But this time, they had a plan. Because they sat at Mar-a-Lago for 4 fucking years planning this shit. And they've been planning it for 4 years, believe me. Believe me when I tell you, I know. There were people going to Mar-a-Lago constantly, and they were working on the plans on what they're going to do when he get back in. And Russell was working on Project 2025, and Donald Trump knew about it, and he was ready to roll it out if he win. And he decided that he was gonna win at all costs. There were things that were done, but I will not speak about it. He's the president now, right? And as I was saying, he started to wreck stuff. First, he go after the media because he wants to control what the people hear. And if he gets the big media companies to capitulate to him, the smaller ones will follow. And they did capitulate. Because they were seeking mergers. It was about the money in the end. And we call America a democracy. Land of the free, home of the brave. I've been to free countries. I'll give the brave to them. But I will not call it the land of the free. Because not even speech is free anymore. Right? First, he went after the media. And they folded. Then he went after the biggest law firms in the country, all those law firms that went against him, he went after them. They capitulated, offered to work for him, even though these law firms had clients that were against him. There were law firms who had clients that they dropped because now they have to represent Donald Trump. I was sitting there and there were no words to explain what I was seeing. I'm in shock. I'm still fucking in shock. I'm still fucking in shock. Then he went after the schools, the Ivy League schools, because he wanted to put another country first. Because that other country was responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars in his campaign. And he have to do what they say. They control him. They run him. Those people are controlled by foreign agents, very capable foreign agents who gives them instructions. Right. And he followed those instructions. Right. Then this immigration stuff, man. Look, I was not born in America, but I know what freedom is. I know what it is like to be in a free country. Right? There are lots of reasons why people move to America. And people do not want to come here like they once did in the 70s and the 80s. People are looking elsewhere. People are looking to go to Europe, Canada, right? Because of all of this, right? Then the immigration policies were so inhumane. I wasn't living in 1945, but I saw pictures and I used my imagination of what Germany used to do. And this is worse. On American streets, dragging a pregnant woman, kneeling on her, busting out windows, and you don't have any warrant. The law says that you need a warrant to arrest these people. You can't go around asking people where they're from or where their documents at. That is not what the law says. Right? And these agents are going to run into someone who's gonna think that they're from a gang, because you got gangsters out there who are on high alert, who thinks that their opponents will dress up like ICE to try and attack them, and they gonna fire on them. And there will be a lesson learned. And how will I feel about it? Nada. I'm a former law enforcement officer, and the people pay you, because these guys are even arresting American citizens, right? These guys are taking kids out of their beds, barely closed, and throwing them in U-Haul trucks. People are dying in these concentration camps, right? I got offered. Nah, I won't talk about that. Right? And as bad as some of these American people were and wanted to see deportation, they didn't want to see it like this. Even this is too much for them. You know who I'm not sorry for? I'm not sorry for the fucking farmers. Joe Biden was allocating money for the farmers and helping them to go green. You know, stable energy, cheaper energy. And he was paying for it when those farmers install the systems, then they get the money back. Joe Biden was, and he was doing this in red states as a part of the infrastructure plan. When Donald Trump came into office, he stopped it in the tracks. So those farmers who already paid them money, not gonna get their money back. And guess what? Good for them. Because they went back and voted for Donald Trump. Joe Biden was helping them even though they didn't vote for him. So you can't get these red state farmers to vote blue, not even in their own interest. And I say, fuck them. I plan my own shit. I don't need their shit. I'd rather get my shit from China instead of supporting these farmers who voted against their own fucking interest. Right? And when none of that was enough, guess what this man started to do? He started to tear down the White House. He complaining about them tearing down Robert E. Lee's statue, all the racist shit. But he's tearing down the fucking White House to build a fucking ballroom. Can't you fucking see that this man is not there mentally? He wants to turn the White House into Mar-a-Lago. Do you think he plan on leaving, or he just wants to leave a fucked up White House when he leaves? Because he's a petty motherfucker. People keep talking about all the gold in his ballroom and shit. I know the dude who paint those things in his ballroom. He had a blow-up tent right behind the ballroom where he paint those things. There's no gold in Trump's place. Nothing is gold. There's nothing exciting about Mar-a-Lago. It's a 1920s old shaky building. And that's all I'll say about it. This man is a grift. And he manages to fool so many American people because they can't think critically. They can't see what's right in front of their face. And even when Trump shows them his ass, they think that they're looking at titties. The fucking trade war is destroying us. And what people don't realize is that we haven't seen anything just yet. Because these companies, when they knew he was coming into office with this trade war thing, they stocked up. And they stocked up on a lot of stuff. So they could keep selling us things for the same price, even though you have people who are price gouging. But for most part, they're selling us stuff for the same prices. Now, when they're gonna have to buy things at that price with the tariff interest on, now you're gonna feel what it fucking feels like. Right? He lies about giving money to the soldiers when that money was already allocated for housing for the soldiers, but he wanted to put his money on that check and call it whatever he called it. Lie to the military. And I'm wondering, after the military seeing him cutting VA staff, most of who are former military, and cutting care for veterans, who want to join the army here and who want to fight under Donald Trump. This is getting crazy, man. I listened to him talk in North Carolina, and he's not there. His mental state is declining. And this is the man who's making decisions for our lives and our kids' lives. And we need to wake up and smell the roses.